Good morning, Mario. Thank you very much for joining us. We are very pleased to have the opportunity to speak with you about some of the most important geopolitical challenges of our time. To start, I would ask to you, in light of the current conflict involving Iran and the weird stability in the international system, how do you see the geopolitical situation evolving?
Well, I think that we have to reflect firstly about a quote of Pope Francis, the previous Pope. He said, "We are not in an era of changes, we are in a change of era." And I think that is true. Why? Because, for example, if you consider what happened at the end of World War II in the Agreement of Yalta, at that time, the winners of the conflict established a very strong agreement of powers in order to define and to share the zone of influences all around the world. The most important consequence of that division was the fact that for a long time that equilibrium managed international relationships. Today we have more than 56 conflicts. It means that the risk of a general terrible war may be effectively a possibility. And in particular, we have to reflect about the fact that everything is changed. What I mean, the world of 1945 was a world of 2 billion and 500 million of inhabitants. We, the Europeans, we were at that time 500 millions, and all the technology and all the science of that time. Today, we are all around the world 8 billion and 200 millions of inhabitants. But we, the Europeans, we continue to remain 500 millions of persons. Simply, we are older than in that time. We are, generally speaking, 46 or 47 years old. And in front of us, there is a continent, Africa, where 1 billion and more of inhabitants are not more than 18 years old. Everything is changed. At Yalta, in Yalta, there was not India. In Yalta, there was not China. And today, China and India are 1/3 of the world populations. This is the reason, because in the absence of a new equilibrium, we are searching for. And for a lot of nations, maybe strategically more convenient to do war than not to try to build up for peace.
Sure. Thank you. What about your book? Your book, Viene la guerra, you invite readers to reflect on Europe's identity and responsibility in front of the challenges of the 21st century. In your view, how can Europe rediscover its deeper identity while also becoming a more credible, stronger, more united actor on the international stage?
Yeah, this is probably the most difficult challenge for Europe after the starting point of what we call the European project. I will start here with a provocation. The European Union is made up of small countries, and the countries that have not yet realized that they are small. Europe can truly count only if it acts in a united way, in a united manner, and with a single voice. This is possible only if it reforms itself along federal lines, at least in the management of its foreign policy and common defense. This is a fundamental assumption that is guiding and must continue to guide key projects such as the last one of Readiness 2030, what we call in general EARM Europe. But let me be a little bit more precise. When we talk about the European identity, it means for sure rule of law. European identity, it means cultural and our political history too, in particular the vision of the so-called founding fathers of the European project. But today, European identity is more, is the shared proposal of defense of the roots and of the perspective of democracy all around the world. This is the real consequence of the new transatlantic tension, because effectively, in the relationship with the other side of the moon, our American friends, we have to take in account what is affecting profoundly the American society. And we have to distinguish in order to defend the prerogatives of a European constructions that is maintaining its fidelity to the identity of freedom and democracy.
Perfect. Thank you for your answer. And another question for me is, in your view, is war becoming the unique path for resolving today's geopolitical disputes, or does the international community still have concrete tools to promote and support a real dynamic of peace?
The connection that the current events forces us to do is that war becomes inevitable when, as I said before, the states think that making war is simply more convenient than to try to build up on peace.
Sure.
This is the most dangerous assumption that Russia came up with the outrageous decision of invading Ukraine. This is what we need to keep in mind when we analyze the geopolitical landscape.
Perfect, thank you. And in your view, in which sector should Europe and Italy in particular invest more to achieve greater strategic autonomy and reduce excessive dependence on external partners such as United States?
Yeah, there is no silver bullet on what to do in the future. But one thing is crucial when you try to forecast and prevent crisis, and it may sound obvious, but it is preparation. Italy needs to work on its defense industry to scale up and put together all the high value and innovative startups and SMEs that represent our backbone and also an excellence in the field of defense. In all of these, what will be crucial is the capability of our government to connect and align with other member states, creating cross-border projects and driving investments and research in European Union's regions.
Perfect, thank you. And one last question. Looking beyond the major power, how can Europe build stronger relations with emerging countries not only from a diplomatic perspective, but also in terms of trade, investment, and economic cooperation?
Well, I think that we have a clear example of what we have to do inside the mechanism, the strategic mechanism and organization of European Union. We have the response inside of us. And what is the response? Is the nature of the posture of European Union in trade. Do you know perfectly, I guess, that trade is the only environment in which the number of Europe that Henry Kissinger searched for a long time does exist.
Sure,
because the responsibility of Europe in trade is total and perfect. This is the reason because we have to move through federal institutions, because we have to reproduce in all the strategic sector, and in particular for sure foreign affairs and defense, the same logic that convinced our member state to agree in the trade sector. What was the goal that established this status of trade in Europe? The original goal was the single market. That means to align all our needs and all our strategies in order to give the possibility to European citizens to become richer than in the past. And there are some specific strategies of European Union that are managed with this unified view. In the sector, for example, of infrastructure and transport, you have the TEN-T strategy. And TEN-T strategy, the motivation is an economic motivation in order to permit to our citizens to become more rich. But today we have to understand that the geopolitical motivation is stronger than the economic one. And we have to align our political willingness in defense sector and the foreign affairs perspectives in order to grant the security and the economic security of the single market. This is the right way to produce, probably for the next future, a federal perspective, but today a stronger integration of the European Union.
Interesting. Perfect. Thank you very much, Mario, for your time and for sharing your valuable insight with us. We truly appreciate your contribution. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.